Channel 3 Eyewitness News starts with a First Alert Weather Day.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us. It is now 7:30. I'm Tracey McCain.
I'm Caitlin Nuclo. We have a lot to talk about this morning on this First Alert Weather Day. Of course, we're staying on the air here to track that slippery and what's become a very messy morning commute. We have team coverage for you here this morning as all those delays and closings come into our newsroom.
Well, your reporter, Marcy Jones, is live tracking the conditions on those messy roads, and Roger is in studio keeping tabs on any accidents that officials are reporting this morning. But first, let's turn to our team of meteorologists, Scot Haney and Gilardi, working together to keep tabs of this mess.
Yeah, it's nice to have Jill in with me this morning. Hello,
Ditto.
Jill.
Ditto.
How are you?
Better.
Better, yes, exactly. All right, First Alert Weather Day through this morning. At least another couple of hours as the precipitation continues to move through the state. It'll be winding down again by about 9, 10 o'clock this morning, and then we'll drop the First Alert Weather Day. We've also got a winter weather advisory that's coming up in just a bit. But in the meantime, there's that winter weather advisory until 11 o'clock this morning. So snow and sleet and freezing rain. It's basically, again, getting a little bit better, as you can see here from the First Alert Live radar, kind of shutting down right now. You do have some rain along the shoreline where the temperatures are between 36 and about 41 degrees. We'll get to that in just a second. Haddam, you've got a little bit of mixed precipitation there. You can see we're zooming on in here. You've got that little bit of sleet, maybe a little bit of freezing rain as well through Haddam, where it changes over to plain rain, where you can see the greens. East Haddam, and then Moodus, there's not a lot going on, but just to the east, south, and east of Moodus, you've got a little bit of that mixed precipitation as well. Salem, Barbara from Salem letting me know she picked up a little bit of snow earlier, but as you can see now, it's just plain old rain. As the temperatures move, they're moving up along the shoreline. I just said 36 to 41, and there that is. But the temperatures in inland Connecticut, Jill, certainly cold enough to support that wintry precip.
Yeah, 32 or colder, and you're going to have some issues out there on those untreated surfaces. Of course, crews have been working hard, and the roads look so much better than they did a couple of hours ago when I was coming into work. Let's show you those temperatures where it is cold enough for those slick spots and untreated surfaces. Meriden, 31. Hartford, 29 degrees. Tallinn, 28 degrees. So it's going to take several more hours for those temperatures inland to start to warm above freezing. So even if the precipitation stops falling on First Alert Futurecast, you can see that would be the trend. There's still going to be those issues on treated surfaces, so be careful when you're walking as well. As we progress towards 8 o'clock in the morning, we're going to continue to see that precipitation kind of breaking up as we progress through the morning hours, and inland, just ongoing rain along the immediate shoreline. Even at 10 o'clock, it still could be at or below freezing, especially in some of those valley locations where that colder air gets trapped. So still could be some patchy areas of freezing drizzle, even light freezing rain through 11 o'clock this morning before we start to see those temperatures warming up, and that threat for anything slick and frozen goes away. So if you want to hold off any travel till after about 11 o'clock, you should be good to go. But we'll keep you updated on this system because we have more rain heading our way for the week ahead. More on that we'll have coming up a little later, but it's a mess out there. Roger?
It sure is, yeah. We are in traffic alert mode this morning because of all the issues that are out there. There's two really biggies. The first is here in Manchester. You can see a jackknifed tractor trailer. There is a tow truck here, these bright lights here, that are trying to eventually eke it out of the way. But until that happens, you can see just one lane really of traffic. Traffic is open. Don't be like this guy here. Get all the way over to the left if you are driving in Manchester right now. Give the emergency responders the space they need. This is again playing out between exit 62 and 60. Really just one lane of traffic getting by. Now, the rest of the state, we're looking okay for the most part. Here's a view in Waterbury and in Manchester. Middletown and Hartford, you can see mostly smooth sailing. That is the good news. However, I mentioned there was one other mess playing out right now, and because the sun's coming up, we're getting a better view of it right now. This is in Norwich, I-395 north between exits 9 and 11. You can see the bright lights here. One lane of traffic is closed there because of yet another jackknifed tractor trailer. That is a look at your First Alert traffic report, driven by your Connecticut Chevy dealers.
All right, we're continuing our team coverage here of this First Alert Weather Day. We're getting a lot of delays and closings into our newsroom. Chester just changed their 2-hour delay to a closure, so keep your eye on the bottom of the screen there.
Yeah, I'm not surprised because your ride-in was pretty treacherous this morning.
And Waterbury closed as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so Marcy, what are the roads like right now?
Good morning, you guys. Flipping the camera around so that you can see we are in Waterbury. Thankfully, the plow drivers have been doing an excellent job. They've come by a couple times recently, but I do want to point out that because there are so many drivers consistently on the road, that there is starting to get that slush in the asphalt where it kind of mixes and gets a little bit clumpy, and so that really does create kind of a slippery surface. And if you are behind somebody, if you're too close behind, you're going to be getting a lot of that backsplash, and that's going to be kicking up on you. So you want to make sure that you're giving yourself plenty of time and plenty of room in between you and the other drivers. Now, this again, still a little bit fluid, because if you think you know what to expect where you live, that could definitely change on your drive, and it won't necessarily be the same conditions that you experience as you further your journey out. So make sure that you are paying attention. In some areas, it's going to be a little bit more wet. In other areas, a little bit more snow buildup and possibly some icy patches. One just kind of safety reminder, we have seen some areas where the sidewalks aren't clear. In fact, we're actually watching that happen as we drive through this area. Some pedestrians have been trying to avoid that snow and walking out and stepping out into the roadway. We want to definitely discourage you from doing that, because that's pretty dangerous out here. Even though it's a pain to walk through the snow, just do it just until they clear it, because you don't want to take any chances by stepping out into the roadways. And make sure you download the WFSB app. That is the greatest way to stay up to date with all the changing conditions. And that's it for us here in the Weather Tracker. Your reporter in Waterbury, Marcy Jones, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Okay, Marcy, stay safe out there. Right now, people all across our state waking up to that winter weather. It's looking different depending on where you are in the state.
Yeah, your reporter, Olivia Schuler, is live outside of our station showing the conditions right now in Rocky Hill. Good morning.
Hey guys, good morning. Well, the big story today is obviously this messy weather that all of us are waking up to this morning. It's really that slippery snow, that slippery slush that we're seeing all across the state. No matter where you are in this area of Hartford, Middlesex County, you're seeing some type of snow on the ground this morning. And I can tell you, if you're waking up this morning and you're looking out the window and you say, oh gosh, I have to go out there, make sure you are very careful. Because like I said, this snow and the precipitation that's on the roads is very, very slippery. So make sure you are mindful of that. If you have any salt that you can put down, that's going to be a great way to make sure your mailman, your husband, your wife, your kids don't slip and fall as they are going outside this morning. So just be careful when you do that. We're going to throw up right now what it looks like from our traffic camera in Rocky Hill. You can see the parking lot here with us. We need a plow to come through. A lot of people you can see have some snow on their windshields, so that's going to be nice when all of us have to leave and get all that snow off of our cars, and all of you are going to be in the same boat this morning as you head out to work. So make sure you're taking it nice and slow. You're putting down the salt. You may need a shovel. You may not need a shovel depending where you are. And you know, usually I have my yardstick with me to measure the snow, but here in Rocky Hill, it doesn't look like I can be using that with me today. But just a reminder to make sure you're very cautious as you head out this morning. And Marcy's been on top of the roads all morning in Waterbury, so we just want to let you know what it's looking like right out front your door. We'll send it back to you.
All right, Olivia, thank you. Of course, we're continuing our team coverage here throughout the morning on today's winter weather, making for that messy morning commute.
Yeah, the best thing to have with you right now is the First Alert weather app, so you can stay up to date on what you need to know before you head out the door. All you have to do is scan the QR code on your screen, and we'll be pushing out key alerts all day.
A lot of folks wondering what's going on with all those drone sightings in our state and really around the Northeast.
Yeah, I've asked myself that very question. So are lawmakers, after mysterious drones have been hovering over areas of the Northeast. Today, State Senator Tony Hong will be spearheading an event discussing drone sightings. And the goal here is to emphasize government transparency so that police can help protect their communities. We spoke with a man in Naugatuck who shot this video over the weekend. He says he saw several drone-like objects in the sky and then found nothing when he checked the Flight Tracker app.
We threw the Flight Tracker app up and tried to see if it was a helicopter or a plane or whatever it was, and there's nothing there.
Police are now investigating several reports about these drones, including in Clinton and Groton. Pentagon officials say they don't belong to the military or any foreign adversaries. Today's event, hosted by Senator Wayne, will be at 10 o'clock this morning at the Fairfield train station. We'll bring you the details, of course, on Eyewitness News starting at noon.
All right, not a lot of precipitation left in northern Connecticut, but there still is some precip left in our 4 southern counties. I'll get to that in just a second. But our first alert weather day continues for at least the next couple of hours, but the system is starting to shut down. Still some rain coming down along the shoreline. We'll get to that in just a second. But in the meantime, the wintry mix is starting to wind down. You might encounter a little bit of sleet and some freezing rain. And of course, the traveling this morning could be slick, especially secondary and tertiary roads. The winter weather advisory continues until 11 o'clock this morning. Let's take a look at First Alert Live Radar, the only live radar in Connecticut. We are scanning a little bit of sleet here, maybe a little bit of freezing rain in parts of Durham. You'll notice Middletown down 91, 5 and 15. You've got Route 2. You've got 9. It's all being impacted this morning, so just exercise caution, okay? And then along the immediate shoreline, some moderate rain coming down in Fairfield County. You've got some yellows here showing up on Southport, Route 1, 95, Fairfield. This is right around exits 23, 24 along 95, so just be careful in that part of 95, and be careful everywhere, I should say, this morning. And as we take a look at New London, Gales Ferry, Montville, Essex, where 9 connects up with 95, right around exit 69, it's plain old rain. All right, we're going to send it to Jill for the remainder of this forecast. But Jill, it's looking kind of pretty in Waterbury right now.
Yeah, the snow is not going to be lasting long on the ground and those grassy surfaces once those temperatures warm up this afternoon. And thankfully, it is 34 in Waterbury, so that means we're seeing temperatures warm enough that melting is going to be occurring. Same goes for New Haven, where it is 36 degrees. But you get to Meriden, still 31 below freezing. 30 Willimantic, 29 Hartford. So again, we're going to have some of those icy spots, those untreated surfaces, not only just roads, but walkways, things like that. Be very careful as you step out the door. It is going to be a little icy. So that chance for, the wintry precipitation's going to be cutting off here within the next several hours. But what you might not get to see on radar is a little bit of freezing drizzle. That may be a concern until about 10, 11 o'clock this morning for inland areas. Keep up with the temperature for your location through the WFSB First Alert weather app. Have it following you. Of course, Scott, this afternoon, what a difference a few hours is going to make for us.
Unbelievable. That's really good advice, though, about the freezing drizzle, Jill. So thank you so much for passing that along as well. All right, let's take a look at the forecasted highs for today. We're talking about temperatures today. They're going to make it into the mid to upper 40s. It's going to be a cloudy afternoon, but at least the temperatures are actually going to be rising overnight tonight through early tomorrow morning. And then overnight tonight through tomorrow morning, there will be a batch of rain. We'll show you that coming up in just a bit, but it's